Evening, everyone. Or should I say, hey, you're finally awake. Welcome to the land of Skyrim. We are recording tonight a very, very special shout in aid of special effect. But before we crack on in a minute or so, I thought I'd just take a moment to enjoy the ambience here in the wonderful world of Skyrim. Those of you who are familiar with the game, where are we? Not in Whiterun. We're certainly not. We're not too far away from Whiterun, though. I'll give you a little hint. If you see any chickens running past, do not attack them. The guards don't like it. In fact, there might well be a guard along in a minute to keep an eye on us. And if you see him, everyone just keep quiet, and we'll all pretend that we're all being well behaved. Welcome, everyone, to a very, very... Oh, here he is. Shh. I think we got away with it. I think we should get started before I get arrested and thrown into the keep at the High Hold. This is a very special Game Choir project, as I said. We are learning and recording tonight one of the shouts of power from the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, one of the most iconic, best loved, and frankly one of my favourite games of all time. Allow me just a moment to bring my presentation up. Here we are. So, Skyrim is a game that for many needs no introduction, but to many of you probably does. It is a game that released back in 2011. I said 2012 last time, and dear Vanessa corrected me. It was, of course, 2011, on the 11th of the 11th, 11. And I have bought this game on multiple platforms. Here it is for the Xbox 360. Here it is for the PS3. And the Nintendo Switch. I also have it digitally on the PlayStation. That is the PS4 and PS5, and I also own it on Steam. And there'll be lots of people out there saying, why on earth do you own 6 copies of a game? So I can play it on multiple platforms. I think I've played Skyrim more than most games. It is an incredible experience. It's a fantasy game, those of you who are wondering what it's about. Set in a land far away that's populated by elves and dragons and draugrs, which are kind of zombie-like creatures. You also have factions of humans and all sorts of things. Nords. It is, in fact, a Nordic land with lots of snowy mountains and trolls and giants and all sorts of things. It is a truly immersive game. And from this game, we are going to draw for tonight a very, very special shout. And I thought this was perfect for Game Choir because you've already shown us, everyone, that you are exceptional at using your voices in a beautiful way. Tonight, we are going to use it in a powerful way. We're going to use our wonderful voices to combine together to shout for a very worthy cause. So let's have a look at it. Tonight, everyone, we are going to learn and record the world's largest FUS-RO-DAH. And more on what that actually is in just a moment. If you aren't signed up for Game Choir yet and you want to take part in this project, it is completely free. You just need to go to our website, gamechoir.com/FUS-RO-DAH. You can see it here, just up here. That's all that you need to do. Put that in. Fill in the little form that just gives us your email address. We will send you the details as to how you can take part. So that's for anyone watching going, how do I do this? How do I send it in? Go to gamechoir.com/FUS-RO-DAH and then fill in the little form on there. Now, why are we doing this? Well, we are supporting a wonderful charity called Special Effect. More on that later. But here, everyone, is the outline for tonight's session. I am, after all, a teacher, and these are my aims and objectives for our wonderful, wonderful shout. We will start in a moment with a warm-up. It's really important to always warm up whenever you sing, and never more so than when you shout. So we're going to warm up particularly our diaphragm, that sheet of muscle that runs right across our bodies. So we're doing lots of hoo and other big, big sounds. Then I'm going to give you some tips for recording. Those of you that wish to can record along with this live stream, or if you're watching it later, you can record along with it at that point. So if you're not ready to record tonight as we're streaming this live, remember this is saved for you and you can record at any point for the next 2 weeks. We're going to make the closing date 2 weeks today as we stream this, which will be the 18th of September. Now, then we're going to split the chant into the 3 parts. The shout, we're going to record FUS, which is the first part of the shout. Then we're going to record FUS-RO, and then finally, saving the best for last, FUS-RO-DAH. Then I'm going to tell you what to do with your recordings, and then finally, a quick note about our upcoming projects. Very exciting. So as I mentioned, this project is a very short one, but it's a very powerful one. We are going to be raising funds for a wonderful charity called Special Effect. Now, this is a charity that means a great deal to Mark and myself, in fact, to many of you watching. This wonderful group, well, they raise awareness and in particular funds to help change the lives of people with severe physical disability. And whether you are a gamer or not, you can take it from me as someone who's been playing games for over 40 years. It is a fantastic hobby. It's so much fun, and you shouldn't be excluded from it just because you can't use a controller. And so what this wonderful charity does is to find ways to help those with physical disabilities, even if all they can move is their eyes. There are wonderful pieces of technology out there, things like the eye gaze, which track eye movements and allow people to play games and allow them to enjoy the wonderful world of, well, Halo and Skyrim and more besides. So tonight we will be asking you, if you're taking part in it, to consider making a donation to Special Effect. More on that at the end. So everyone, welcome to this very special FUS-RO-DAH. Let's remind ourselves what this sounds like and what it actually does. Here's a little bit from Skyrim itself. Here we go.
Now I remember. You're that new member of the Companions. So, you what? Fetch the mead?
And another one for measure. Yeah. It's not exactly the world's most welcoming chant. In fact, it is kind of the opposite, as someone's already said in the live stream. It's very much a go away now sort of shout. But I love the fact, as a singer and a conductor, that this is in a video game, that you can use your voice as a way of pushing people away. And this is what we're doing tonight, everyone. What actually is it? Well, as I say, it comes from The Elder Scrolls V, the 5th game in the series. There is a 6th one coming out, but don't hold your breath. It's going to be a while yet. Skyrim, which released in 2011 on computers, consoles, handhelds, and even Alexa. If you don't believe me, after this broadcast, put in Skyrim Alexa and be prepared to have a bit of a laugh. And what you can see here is a little bit of text from the guide to Skyrim, and this is what you see in the game when you learn the chant. You learn it in 3 sections. The first part of the shout is FUS, which is force in the dragon language. The second part is RO, which is balance, and the third part is DAH, which is push. And it says your voice is raw power, pushing aside anything or anyone who stands in your path. So we are going to combine our voices to create the world's largest FUS-RO-DAH for Special Effect. So before we do that, we need to warm our voices up. This is a key part with singing. Those of you that took part in the Halo chant, remember, we spent a bit of time warming up our voices to sing beautifully and melodiously. While not the same kind of warm-up tonight. We need to warm up our diaphragm and make sure we've got plenty of oomph, because we don't want to ruin our voices, even with this short shout. So the first thing we're going to do is all take a deep breath in together and sigh. Great. And again, breathe in and sigh. Fabulous. And now what we're going to do is just breathe out, but with a little bit of force behind it. So we're going to go nice deep breath and fabulous. And now we're going to go like that. And with me and very good. And now I'm just going to ask you to put your finger out in front of you, and I'm going to ask you to blow out an imaginary candle at the end of your finger. So you're going to go like that. With me, please, and very good. One more time, deep breath, and excellent. It's quite a pesky candle. It's one of those that keeps coming to life. So you've actually got to make sure the air is really nice and compressed, and for that, you need to give your diaphragm a bit of a... So put one hand on your tummy just above your belly button, hold your finger out like that, And as you blow the air away, you should feel your diaphragm, feel the muscles here kind of go like that. Nice deep breath and very good. Very good. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to harness that power. We're already starting the shout at this point, and we're going to give it a nice big whoo with the same sort of power. Imagine you are trying to, if not blow the candle out, you're trying to make it kind of flicker at the end of your finger. So nice deep breath and whoo. And again, deep breath and whoo. Good. And what we're trying to do now is to get some power behind it. But a voice, notice it's quite chesty, it's quite deep. It doesn't matter if you have a low voice or a high voice, just allow it to drop into your chest. So we get a whoo, like that. One more after 3. 1, 2, 3. Whoo. Very good. That's great. I think that's about as loud as we need to go. We're not going to want to go too loud for reasons that I'm going to explain now. So we're going to start recording very shortly. This is, after all, a very, very short project, this shout for special effect. But just to remind you, those of you who are new to this process, first of all, you need to have headphones on to listen to me, to listen to the guide, so that you actually get just your voice when we record. We don't want me, we don't want the sound of the recording from the game, we just want your voices. So please wear headphones to record this. Secondly, this is really important. We're going to ask you to place the microphone, whether it is your phone or whether it is a microphone that you have, place it a little bit away from you. Certainly don't lean into the microphone because it will clip. And I'll explain in a moment what clipping means. But if your recording is clipped, we cannot use it. So make sure you place the microphone a couple of feet away. And we're going to ask you to experiment a little bit with the recording so it's not clipped. And I'll explain in a moment what that means. Try and record if you can in a dead space. We don't want any reverb added. Don't add any additional sound to it. We don't want it sounding like this. We don't want that from you. We will add that sound. We just want it in a nice, straightforward dead space. So a space with lots of curtains in it, for example. Or if you have a nice big walk-in closet, you can walk in there. A cupboard for those of you in the UK, or a wardrobe if you prefer. We just want it to sound as dead as possible in terms of the reverberance. So when we put it together, well, then we can add the reverb and the thunder and the lightning and make it sound enormous. Now, I mentioned clipping, everyone. Clipping occurs when the microphone is overloaded. Basically, you're too loud, you're too close to the microphone, the technology fails, and what happens is it just buzzes. Think of the sound of an electric guitar played in a really heavy rock band. It's got lots and lots of buzz to it. It's no good if you're trying to record your voice. And it looks like this. I don't know if you can make it out here. I recorded several FUSs and FUS-ROs. Now, the first one, I deliberately kept it fairly quiet, and I kept the microphone a couple of feet away from me. And then the next two, I leant right into the microphone, and it sounded like this. Here's the first one. Now, here's the second one.
FUS!
Did you hear it buzz? Let's try that again. So here's the first one on its own. Here we go.
FUS!
That's fine. Second one.
FUS!
And you heard that buzz. That's clipped. So we don't want a clipped recording. And when you listen back to it, if the speaker is buzzing like that, I'll ask you to do it again. Okay, maybe put it another half a foot away. Maybe consider, instead of looking directly at the microphone, being slightly far away. It doesn't matter if it's not incredibly loud, because it's going to be combined with lots and lots of other people. It just has to come from the diaphragm and be recorded without clipping. All right, everyone, thank you very much. So I think we should get started and ready to record. Remember, if you're watching this live and you want to record this later on, you can, of course, come back. The closing date for submissions for this project is 2 weeks after we recorded it, so that is September the 18th, 2023. But if you are ready to record, whether you're watching live or later, please get those recording devices ready. The microphone should be a couple of feet away, headphones on, and what I'll do is we'll press record in just a moment, we'll clap to synchronize, and then we'll get on with learning these shouts. So if you are ready, please press record on your recording device now. Fabulous. Well done. And we're going to clap to synchronize, so it'll be 1, 2, 3, clap. Are we ready? 1, 2, 3. Excellent. So we are ready to record the first of our 3 shouts. So as I said, you learn these shouts during the game of Skyrim, and in fact you are taught at least 2 of them by these chaps here, who are called the Greybeards, which I thought was quite appropriate. I have a bit of grey in my beard. I'm not quite as grey as these chaps here. I think I'm a junior member of the Order. And once you learn these shouts, they ask you to shout at them to prove that you can do them. So the first shout, which is FUS, or force in dragon language, sounds like this. And let's have that one again. Oops. See, I knew that would happen. Ready? So, what we need to do is we need to gather up our breath and we need to say FUS, like that. Let's try a practice run. Ready? 1, 2, 3, FUS. Really good. It helps if you contort your face a little bit, I think, to get the sound out. Let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, FUS. Good. Remember, you're trying to blow out the candle on the other side of the room with your voice. Okay, trying to push this poor old monk over to one side. So let's try that. Let me get this in the right place. There we go. So, back to the beginning. Are we ready? Nice deep breath. And FUS. Fabulous. Let's do another one. We're going to record lots of these. Nice deep breath. And FUS. Really good. Let's have another one. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And one more for good luck. Again, after 3. Nice deep breath. 1, 2, 3. Well done. Fabulous job. So that's the first part of the shout. That's the basic shout. Okay, that's the economy level. Now we're going to go up. This is the sort of standard shout. So once you've learnt the first level, you learn the second one. Now, bearing in mind, the Greybeards will tell you in the game, it takes years of practice for them to learn these shouts. However, as you are the Dragonborn, you can learn this shout in a matter of moments from a master like myself. So I'm now going to teach you the next part of the shout, which is FUS-RO. And if you notice here, it's a longer FUS and the force is on the row. Sounds like this. Here we go. FUS-RO. So it's FUS-RO with me, and FUS-RO. Again, FUS-RO. Let's listen to it in the game again. Here we go. FUS-RO. And notice the power part comes out on the row. So let that one fly a little bit. FUS-RO. One more after 3. 1, 2, 3. FUS-RO. Excellent. Now, let's try that with the character. And bearing in mind, in case you're wondering and worried about these characters, they aren't getting hurt at all. They are asking you to shout at them. So this is all in a good cause. They know it's for charity. Okay, so let's try this one with the game. 1, 2, 3. FUS-RO. Fabulous. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3. FUS-RO. Couple more, I think, for luck. Remember, let it go down into the chest. FUS-RO is where the power comes out. 1, 2, 3. FUS-RO. And again, for the last time. Nice deep breath. 1, 2, 3. FUS-RO. Great stuff. Well done. I tell you what, when you next go down to the supermarket, anyone's in front of you in the queue, you're not going to have a problem, are you? Let's skip on to the last one. Now, this is the big one. This is the FUS-RO-DAH. And when you reach this point in the game, this unlocks this third part of the shout, which is the most powerful part of the shout. Force, balance, push. And this push is what allows you to blast people clear across the room. And I have to warn you, please, do use this wisely. We have to be careful. I know if I'm teaching this to hundreds and hundreds of people from all over the world, I do need to just ask you, please, FUS-RO-DAH responsibly. Thank you. Let's have a quick listen to this, because this is a different shape. It's a FUS-RO-DAH, and the da is where the power comes out. Here it goes. FUS-RO-DAH! As you can hear, the row gets kind of lost in the middle of it. Let's hear it again. FUS-RO-DAH! Okay, so we get a FUS-RO-DAH. Say it with me. And FUS-RO-DAH! Good. And notice I'm not using my nice FUS-RO-DAH sort of voice. I'm making it sound gritty. I'm making it sound powerful by engaging the back of my mouth here and the back of my throat. FUS-RO-DAH! To make sure it's very clear but I want the person in front of me to not be there anymore. All right? So let's try that with the game. Here we go. Nice deep breath. 1, 2, 3. FUS-RO-DAH! Fantastic. Remember, no greybeards were harmed in the making of this recording. And again, 1, 2, 3. FUS-RO-DAH! Excellent. Enjoy yourselves. That's what you're here for. We're shouting out for a really, really worthy cause. So really go for this one. Are we ready? 1, 2, 3. FUS-RO-DAH! And I think one more for luck, because we'll just layer these, all these FUS-RO-DAHs, we'll stack them on top of each other, and we'll have the most enormous sound. So this is the last one. Really go for it. Are we ready? 1, 2, 3. FUS-RO-DAH! Fabulous. Well done, you. I tell you what, I wouldn't mess with any of you, particularly not now you're armed with FUS-RO and FUS-RO-DAH. All of you are now fully capable of looking after yourselves in this wonderful land of Skyrim. So the dragons are better watch out. So if you've been recording along with this, can I ask you to press stop on your recording device now, please? And we'll ask you to send that recording to the Dropbox link, which you'll find in your email. If not now, very, very shortly. Remember, the closing date is 2 weeks from the date of recording, which is the 18th of September 2023. And if you also check, you will find your latest achievement, which I will show you in just a moment. I know there are lots of you out there who only do this project, who are only doing this and the Halo project because you like collecting badges. Sorry, we've got you. We've got plenty more badges to come. Now, we'd also ask you, please, to consider donating to Special Effect. This is why we're doing this. And in fact, Special Effect will be the recipient of our support for our next project as well. If you go to specialeffect.org/donate, you can find a button there to make a one-off donation, or if you feel so moved, to make a monthly donation to this wonderful, very, very worthy cause. And please do consider doing that for us. And in terms of recording, well, please, as you did with Halo, do as many recordings as you like. I know some of you out there, like me, have bought this game maybe a couple of times, or 6. Maybe do a recording for each character that you played in the game. I know at least one person is planning to do that. And they can't all be sneaky archers, so, you know, consider recording a Wood Elf, record a Nord, even record a Khajiit if you're feeling brave. And let's have the world's biggest FUS-RO-DAH. I cannot wait to hear all this mixed together. Now, of course, as last time, this is not all that GameQuire is asking you to do. If you are so moved, please consider making a social media post, maybe a short video about this project. Keep us in the loop. Put it up on X or Twitter, whatever it's called, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Discord, wherever you post your social media. Put something up there at GameQuire, #GameQuire, so that we can see it. And when we play all of these shouts together, we would love to show the world what you've been doing in terms of your FUS-RO-DAHing. As I say, responsibly, but do have fun with it while you do. Now, of course, that is not all from GameQuire. We'll keep you posted as to the Kyrie by Marty O'Donnell, which we'll be announcing the dates for very soon. We also have another project which I'm not able to tell you about just yet, but is immensely exciting and could be one of the biggest things ever for this medium. But something I can tell you about, of course, is our next official project, which again is supporting Special Effect. And on October the 6th, we are launching what we're calling One Special Sing, where we will be learning and recording a brand new arrangement of Sweden from Minecraft. A complete contrast to any of the music we've done so far. It's a gorgeous piece, very, very singable, very, very choral. It's been arranged for us by Richard Gowers, who is a musician we work with quite a lot with Choir of the Earth. And watch out for an email from us in the next few days, as we will be letting you know with all the details. But the launch is October the 6th, and the teaching will take place during the day on October the 12th, 2023. If you can't be here live, of course, you can watch along with these sessions anytime you like, because, well, that's one of the joys of this medium. You can record whenever you like. So that, everyone, is your wonderful, wonderful FUS-RO-DAH, your world's loudest Skyrim shout. And so I'm delighted to say you've unlocked your next achievement, which is called A Song in Your Heart and a Knife in Your Boot. You've learned all 3 shouts of the FUS-RO-DAH. When you submit, you will get your next achievement, and when we've mixed it all together, you will get the 3rd and final for this project. So I hope you've enjoyed tonight. Short and sweet, but powerful, which is of course why we're doing all this. Keep an eye out on your email for all of the news from GameQuire. As I say, there are several projects coming up that we haven't been able to talk more about, but are incredibly exciting. And so tell everyone about this project. Please, please, please do take part. Please consider donating to Special Effects, and we'll see you very, very soon. I think I'm going to go off and have a flagon of mead in the inn over there, just as long as I can keep away from the guards. Anyway, everyone, see you soon. All the very best, folks. Take care. Bye-bye.